Friends, imagine. It's a dark night. The rain is pouring so heavily that it feels as if the sky has crashed down on the earth with all its might. There was only darkness all around. The old, crooked branches of the forest swayed in the wind as if an invisible hand were swinging them. Sometimes, lightning would pierce the sky, and in its white flash, for a moment the frightening trees looked like living demons. In the middle of that dense forest there was a small hut. Made of straw and wood, the hut looked so fragile from the outside that it seemed a strong wind would topple it in an instant. But in that hut lived a lonely old fakir, around 60 years old. Wrinkles on his face, a white beard, and deep eyes. He had been living in this forest for many years, abandoning worldly desires and noise. He had made prayer and solitude his companions. But that night, everything was about to change. Fakir Baba was sitting in the light of a small lamp. Outside, thunder resounded, and the rain pounded on the hut's roof, as if thousands of drums were playing simultaneously. Suddenly, knock knock, knock knock. The hut door slammed shut. Baba was startled. Question arose in his heart. Who could it be in this desolate forest at this time in such heavy rain? He slowly got up and opened the door, and as the door opened, the sight before him took Baba's breath away. A beautiful young girl stood at the door. Her clothes were completely drenched in the rain. Her figure was clearly visible through the wet clothes. There was innocence on her face, but fear was also clearly visible in her eyes. She was shivering, perhaps from the cold or perhaps from fear. Baba asked in surprise. "Hey girl, who are you? What are you doing in this dense forest on this dark night? Where did you come from in such heavy rain?" the girl said in a trembling voice. "I'm from a nearby village. I came here after escaping from some people. They want to kill me. I ran and reached this forest. Baba, please save me." Hearing her words, Baba's heart melted, called her inside the hut. The drenched girl came in, trembling, and sat in a corner. Baba looked at her and said, "Don't worry, you're safe here." But at that very moment, another thought came to Baba's mind. Is this girl telling the truth? Or is there some other secret hidden behind this? Fakir Baba had always lived a lonely life. Today, suddenly a beautiful girl came and sat in his hut. A strange stir began to rise in my heart. Only a small lamp was burning in the hut. In its dim light, the girl's wet face and body were even more clearly visible. Baba bowed his head and began a battle with himself in his heart. Oh God, what kind of test is this? Is this girl truly oppressed, or is it something else? The girl slowly began to tell her story. She said, "I am the daughter of the village barber. My parents passed away a few days ago. Now I am left alone in this world. The villagers, seeing my youth and beauty, want to possess me. They want to rob me of my honor. That's why I ran away to the forest to save my life and protect my honor." Baba listened attentively, but his doubts grew. Is this true? Or is this girl hiding some other secret? Wet body, innocent face, ... in a lonely night. The desires buried deep within Baba's heart began to awaken. He tried hard to restrain himself. The devil was whispering in his heart, "Today, after so many years, you have a chance. Why let it slip away?" But Baba said to himself, "No, I am a fakir. I have protected myself from such thoughts all my life. I could never commit such a crime still." His heart was pounding. His eyes were repeatedly darting towards the girl. Then the girl said, "Baba, ... Can I stay in your hut tonight? I will leave tomorrow morning. Please let me stay here." Baba's heart grew even more restless. The fear he had been suppressing was now evident. He said in a trembling voice, "Yes, you can stay here. Stay tonight without any worries." The girl looked at Baba in the dim light of the lamp. There was gratitude in her eyes, and perhaps a secret too. And the real story of that night had not even begun. The darkness in the hut was deepening. The rain outside seemed unstoppable. Occasionally a flash of lightning would penetrate the small door of the hut, illuminating everything for a moment. Fakir Baba closed his eyes and tried to sleep, but it seemed as if sleep had eluded him. His heart was pounding, and his eyes kept drifting to the girl sitting in the corner. Suddenly, ... he heard sobs. Baba was startled. He saw that the girl was crying softly. Tears were flowing from her eyes. Baba went to her and asked softly, "What's wrong, daughter? Why are you crying?" There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm here, the girl said in a trembling voice. Baba, ... I'm not what you think. You think I'm an innocent, helpless girl. But I'm very bad. Not an ordinary person. Baba was astonished. What do you mean? What do you want to say? The girl took a deep breath, then slowly spoke. I am the daughter of a Jinn. At this, Baba felt as if the ground had slipped from beneath his feet. His body began to tremble. He exclaimed in disbelief. What? How can this be? You look like a human. How can I believe you? The girl bowed her head and said, I knew you wouldn't believe it, but it's the truth. I am the daughter of the king of Jinns, and I'm wandering in the human world. There was deep pain in her eyes. She continued. Some time ago, ... a human cast a spell on me. He wanted to marry me, but I hated him. He made me his slave. His grip was so strong that I couldn't escape even if I wanted to. The girl cried and said, he said ... that I can't die until he makes me have sex with every kind of man, young and old. Baba ... Think about my helplessness. I'm trapped in her trap. But if you help me, I can be free. Baba's heart began to beat faster. Now he understood that this was no ordinary matter. The girl grabbed Baba's hand. The grip was extremely cold, as if made of ice. She said tremblingly, Baba ... If you sleep with me tonight, I will be free from this curse. Then I will live as your slave in this forest. I will serve you for as long as you wish. Baba was shocked. He pulled his hand back in fear. You ... Have you gone mad? I have never committed such a crime. I have protected myself from these things all my life. Why do you want to trap me? The girl cried. No, Baba, I don't want to trap you. One step of yours will break all my chains. Will you let me remain a slave forever? Baba's heart trembled. On one side was the wall of his faith. On the other side was the plea of a Jinn's daughter. The devil in his heart began to whisper again. Why do you think so much? Such a beautiful girl is in front of you. If you wish, she will become your slave forever. Who will get such an opportunity? Baba closed his eyes tightly. Oh God, save me from this fitna. But the girl was not about to give up. She came closer to Baba. Her eyes were shining, as if they contained not a woman but a fire. She whispered, Baba ... Just one night. Just one night, and I'll be free forever. Baba's breathing became faster. The atmosphere in the hut grew more eerie. The lamp flickered, as if the flame itself was witnessing this battle between sin and virtue. Then suddenly ... a strange sound came from outside. Baba stood up in a panic. He peeked outside. The rain had now slowed, but a thick, dark fog had spread over the forest. A long, broad shadow was moving through the trees toward his hut. Baba held his breath. Didn't look human. A few moments later, standing in front of the hut was a terrifying witch doctor. His face was full of wrinkles, his eyes glowing like red embers. He held a strange stick with a skull hanging from it. A devilish smile graced his lips. He said in a heavy voice, Oh, fakir, you must be thinking this girl is telling you the truth. Ha ha, she's not your slave. She's my slave. I sent her here. Baba was stunned. He said in a trembling voice, You. Who are you? The tantric laughed loudly. I am the one who has controlled this Jinn's daughter. Her youth is mine. Her soul is mine. And now, I have come to trap you too. Baba's heart began to tremble. He looked at the girl, but she sat silently. Her eyes were wide with fear. Baba now understood everything. This was no ordinary girl. This was the daughter of a Jinn, enslaved by this evil tantric with his black magic. And now that same tantric was standing in his hut, challenging him.